After Ramjula, the bridge closer to town, she spotted the Swarg Niketan Ashram. A bit further up, the road turned into a path. She saw a sign with an arrow indicating Beatles Ashram. She kept going until she came to a clearing where stood the dilapidated yet magical gateway to the former domain of the late Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the place where the band had visited in 1968. A gatekeeper now commanded an entry fee. She paid and went in. The place had long since been abandoned, but the remnants of the once famed ashram still upheld a mystical energy. In recent years, certain special events had taken place in the Darshan Hall, where everyone once gathered to receive the teachings of the Maharishi. The room was now adorned with psychedelic paintings and graffiti accumulated over the years. All over the grounds were innumerable beehive-shaped huts made out of river rocks, where remnants of plumbing and electrical hookups attested to their former modernity. Ronnie wandered around and marveled at the Maharishi's private home, a simple abode in comparison to the visitors' housing quarters. She walked on past a more modern structure referred to as the Beatles bungalow, built especially for the group and their entourage. She continued in the direction of the river. At the shore, the land ended abruptly except for a large rock overlooking downriver. Sitting immobile on the rock was a man dressed in orange. As Ronnie approached, he turned around. She stopped dead in her track. It was Om Prakash, the Delhi oracle, the fortune teller from Delhi. He put his hands together and saluted. "Namaste, Miss Veronica Ronnie." He touched the rock beside him. "Come, join me." "Is that really you?" "Of course, come. They sat facing the river. "What are you doing here?" "I often come here to get away from the city. Mahesh Yogi was my childhood guru. My parents were poor farmers from Devaprayag, further up the river. Just before I reached school age, they met Maharishi and he offered to take me in. It was a great blessing for us. I grew up partly here in the Gurukul. He gave me an education, made me learn English, but later I was still too young to follow him abroad." She did a quick mental calculation. Om Prakash looked much younger than his years. "This is incredible that you're right here, right now. You're not going to believe this, but I had a vision of you in Goa a few days ago." She proceeded to report the whole incident. "Of course, my friend said it was impossible, that I was seeing things, but you still have your doubts. That's a good sign. It shows you still believe in the magic of life, even as reason is trying to pull you into the opposite direction." She nodded, pensive. "Did I not say for you to call me if you ever needed help?" "Yes, but I didn't call you. I couldn't. Not consciously. But your supraconscious sent a very strong message. I was in Delhi and I dreamed that you were in a carriage that was running away and you were calling Om, 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 Om. And I felt that you were in danger, and so in my dream, I grabbed the reins of the wagon, the tuk-tuk in this case, and made sure you got where you needed to go. That is why only you recognized me." "How is that possible?" "With practice and kripa, the Guru's grace, the soul can access different frequencies and multiple dimensions, such as lucid dreaming. Did it not reassure you that you thought I was driving?" "Yes," she shook her head. "Wow. Like now you have come to Rishikesh looking for someone, but simultaneously you're really looking for yourself, searching for the way." "What do you mean? What way?" "Sanatan Dharma, the eternal law, the way of love and light, the coming home to the real you, your higher self, the journey to unite with the immortal part of you, the source of life itself that exists in everything and everyone." "Is that a practice like yoga and meditation?" "Yes, but more so it is a broader, all-encompassing way of life. It's fascinating what is happening in the world right now. Indians have turned their back on their own heritage, the ancient knowledge that had been entrusted to them. Now they want mobile phones, laptops, flat screen TVs, fancy cars, just like in the West. But there, where most people have all that and more, yoga is taking roots because more and more people realize that material possessions do not really bring joy, peace of mind, and happiness. Vivekananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, Prabhupada, Mahesh Yogi, and many others sowed and nurtured the seeds of Sanatan Dharma in the hearts of young and old alike in America and Europe. But the process is still in its infancy. How does one find a guru? The cliche is, when the disciple is ready, the teacher appears. And it is pretty much what happens, just like the other way around. When the teacher is ready, the students appear. Does everyone need a guru? Not formally, no. Because if you observe life, you will notice that you only learn through challenge and adversity until you figure out that only you can transform yourself like those who have already reached that destination. You can read and go to workshops, but what you need is to experience the knowledge for yourself so that it supersedes belief. Dharma is not a competitive tenet, it is experiential so that you can become the best that you can be. How does one get there? By loving, giving, and sharing, always questioning oneself and re-evaluating as you go along, measuring yourself up to your own potential and embracing the truth. The sun was starting to go down, and it was not long before Prakash took leave. In saying goodbye, Ronnie had a feeling they would meet again, and she was deeply moved by the encounter. She was beginning to understand concepts such as synchronicity, synergy, premonitions, and visions. All these words were taking on a new tangible meaning. She was getting glimpses of a new way, a new paradigm, as real and even more fascinating than the psychotropic parameters that most of us have been raised to take for granted. She remained there sitting on the rock in contemplation until she heard music in the distance. She knew it was time to make her way back.